Yesterday was apparently Holocaust Remembrance Day. It also follows an earlier International Holocaust Remembrance Day, which happens every year, sorry, on the 27th of January. The Holocaust Remembrance Day in April or May changes changes from year to year according to the Hebrew calendar. Suella Braverman, who has been very, very vocal about what she calls hate marches, which I call anti-genocide marches, people marching for the safety and security of the Palestinian people in Gaza who are being pummeled at the moment. She did a whole interview yesterday with Eylon Levy, who is a former Israeli government spokesman and currently a media advisor to the president of Israel. And on a tweet, or I should say a post now on X, as it's changed its name, I've got to get that into my head. She wrote this: on this year's Yom HaShoah, I think that means in Hebrew, Holocaust Remembrance Day, we remember the brutality that the Jewish people have suffered. Never again is now. Am Yisrael Chai. And she spoke at length with Eylon Levy about pro-Hamas hate marches, as they call them, and how Britain must back Israel in defeating Hamas, no matter what. It's rather ironic then, on that very day, yesterday, the Israeli Defense Force started bombing Rafah. Now, if you don't know, Rafah is the city at the bottom southern end of the Gaza Strip. It only takes up about 20% of the territory of Gaza, which was already well overpopulated and overcrowded before the Israeli Defense Force started its attacks on Gaza. They continually move people further south and further south and further south. And they have been doing that over the last 7 months until now. As well as the existing population of Rafah, there are 1.4 million refugees from other parts of Gaza, many of whom were already refugees themselves, and they've been moved into the southern 20% of the Gaza Strip in Rafah, which Israel said would be safe. Despite that, they've started bombing it, and they are threatening to go in with a full military operation against Rafah and to move these refugees and the existing population to another part of the Gaza Strip where they will be living in tent cities. They gave a warning to 100,000 people who live in Rafah: move to this other area called Musawi, live in tents, or your houses essentially are going to be blown up. And the collateral damage, which will be you, is something that they say they're not going to be responsible for. But very ironic that they are then saying never again is now, meaning, I guess, that everybody should support Israel. But the real meaning I would take from that is never again means we must stop this ethnic cleansing and genocide against the people of Gaza. And as I said, and I've said many times, I'm not pro one side or the other. I just want to stop the slaughter and the inappropriate, the massive overreaction, which clearly is not a reflection of what happened on the 7th of October, which was terrible. 1,000 or more people died that day. But to kill 35,000 people, mostly women and children, is not proportionate whatsoever. If we're going to say never again, we need to stop the genocide from happening and speak out for the people of Gaza, the innocent men, women, and children, before tens of thousands more are killed in this onslaught.